So after having made millions in my career, mostly earlier on, I'm pretty much starting over here at 26. And I feel like I'm way too old to do that. Like I should have done that a lot sooner. And in this video, I want to just give you a raw, unfiltered perspective on that. And why that happened, why I was super successful at a very young age. 19, 20, 21, I made like 2 million before I was 21 already. And got featured in my original, native country of the Netherlands on their version of Netflix, essentially. Documentary, written up a bunch, hated on a bunch, probably even more. After that kind of fell off to an extent. I had a couple of years where I wasn't really doing anything major, where I was like still doing decent in things, but not even on the level that I was at when I was very young. And I'm starting over, like in a new country, new niche, new kind of business, new industry, and with a new mindset, new perspective. And I hope you can take a lesson or two out of this because, bro, time goes so damn fast. It really does. I'm 26 now. I'm going to be 27 in the end of April next year. And, it goes by like that. And I know everybody always says this. Everybody that's like above 30, whatever, 40, they always say that. Like, oh, time goes so fast. Such a cliche thing to say, but it actually sincerely does. Like, you really, really have to. Every day, every month, every week, every year, you really have to look at, like, what am I doing? What's my goal? What are my actual steps, right? And where am I trying to go? And what have I done to achieve that? Because it's very, very easy to get caught up in the mix of things, and from there to just, get into the weeds and just kind of do things, but not really make progress. And also, it's extremely easy. This will be the first big lesson that I learned that I hope you'll take in, is it's very, very easy to be delusional, right? It's so easy to just kind of manipulate the numbers in your head and to just kind of be like, I'm going to do this next month, these kinds of numbers, and therefore I'm doing it now. I'm kind of thinking like that, and therefore, making yourself feel okay. And the real trick that I found, the real way to live life and perform on a higher degree is to essentially be able to, on the one hand, wake up every single day with the feeling of, I am able to do all these things. I am a person who can be a millionaire, is a millionaire internally already. It's just got to manifest, to kind of believe it till you achieve it kind of thing, to kind of fake it till you make it, and being able to walk into a meeting with that attitude. Like when I was 18 years old, guys, I dropped out of high school when I was 18. Before that, I was doing all sorts of shit, bunch of illegal shit, bunch of shit that I'm not going to get into. And then after that, I had a year or two when I was partying. I was actually kickboxing first. I'm from Amsterdam originally, close to it. And, my path in life was to become a pro kickboxer when I was 14, 15. But I got knocked out in training once when I turned 16, when I was training for my first fight. I was super, super talented, but that kind of took that away from me. Not to get into details here, but, then I partied for a bit. And then I kind of said, like, hey, I gotta stop this shit. I gotta do something serious. And then at 18, I found out about business. I literally dropped out of high school 3 months before my exam, and I started business. And first, I was really cranking. I really got it done and got it successful within like 6 months. Which, for me, there wasn't at that time as much mentorship out there, right? So I was really pretty damn good for my perspective. I started making 4K a month profit, euros. And, this was in 2018. I moved my ass to Bali. I scaled it up to 10, 20, 30K a month. And then, I grew from there. And at, 20-ish years old, I started making like 100 grand a month. And, then I kind of got into a moment of like a lot of doubt and confusion, like, is this what I want to do? Just because I always had that bullseye of like, I want to make $1 million, I want to do 100K a month. And once I did do that and achieve that monetary goal of like, oh, I just want to do this, and I didn't really push myself further in the sense of setting a new goal, I started just shifting focus. I started feeling very unfulfilled because I put way too much emphasis on just that one number and not on what's the next thing now. And that really gave me a negative association to that, making money in business and stuff like that. And so anyway, from there on, I did that for a little, and then I started to, quit that business and do other things and try all these different business models, looking for fulfillment, when, to be honest, I was like, oh, what's my purpose? What's this? What's that? And what am I supposed to do? You're not supposed to do nothing, And for me, I was just looking for a long time. And it cost me millions, because quite frankly, if I'm just going to be honest with y'all and honest with myself, I was early in the game. I was set up to be one of the greats. With the results I had when I was very young, I was 0.001% of the guys that you see are really big now, but I just fell off for a while, And there are many reasons for this that I won't get into more. I'm just covering the things that I think might be valuable for you guys. But basically, from there, as I was saying, it's very easy to be delusional and to kind of think like, oh, I did this for a month, or I'm going to get to these numbers, and therefore keeping yourself in the delusion that you already achieved the results. And so the thing that I found for myself is that it's extremely important to, on the one hand, have that confidence inside of you, but at the same time, every morning wake up and consciously say, these are exactly my results. This is exactly where I am right now, where I'm at results-wise, and these are the things I need to do to get to another level, and to really deal with reality consciously, but subconsciously as well at the same time, feeling like you're, have a superiority feeling and feel like you can be the best and stuff like that. If you can do those two things at the same time, you're gonna crush it. But if you lean into the law of attraction, manifestation shit too much, then you're just gonna be too delusional. And what will happen is you'll basically be saying to yourself, like, I am already this, I'm this, right? And you'll be walking around saying like, oh, I'm making this much, but you're really not, right? And you're kind of like focusing on looking like it, not on being it, which I did for a long time. And as you can see in this video, I'm currently a lot more focused on being it than looking like it, because I could be spitting out a whole bunch of bullshit here, but I'm giving it to you straight. And I'm doing that selfishly for myself, not for you guys, because if you do that, then you actually will align who you are truly with the results that that's giving you. What I mean by that is this: like, if you're gonna lie to yourself about the results that you have, then you're telling yourself, I'm this kind of person right now, and I'm lying to myself that I have these kinds of results, but I'm not right now the person who deserves those results, right? So I'm actually lying to myself, and therefore making the connection in my mind that this kind of person deserves these kinds of results, because I'm lying about the results, right, to myself. And so that is going to keep you very small. Whereas if I'm going to be like, yes, I can do all of these things, but I am this kind of person right now, let's look at it objectively, and these are the kind of results that I have right now, and I'm not lying to myself, then I'm going to be like, okay, if I want these results, I need to level myself up as a person first. So it's not just about being like, oh yeah, I feel like I'm already this, I feel like I'm already this. No, it's also like, what person would achieve these things, and would have these things, and then bringing that person to the present, and then actually being that person and those qualities, actually always taking right action, actually doing the thing that you said you were going to do, actually putting in that kind of work, actually getting on the phone, walking into a meeting with that kind of confidence, all of those things, right? And I kind of lost that for myself after a while, because I was like, oh, I'm the big man, and it's ego that kicks in, and then I'm like, all of a sudden I'm too good for things. Well, that's fucking bullshit, man. I don't give a shit about what the fuck you did 5 years ago, what the fuck you did 3 years ago. What the fuck are you doing now? Are you winning now? That's the only thing that matters, dude. And that's the thing for me. I can't, keep surfing a wave of what I did years ago. Okay, that's cool. Okay, that can tell you like I have that potential inside of me. But look, potential doesn't mean fucking shit if you don't actualize it. And actualizing it comes down to dealing with reality. It comes down to looking at what the current state of affairs is, what it looks like. And from there, what you need to do to change it and bring that person to the present and using your awareness to see every time, am I actually being this person, and holding yourself accountable to that. And so from there, what I did now is I decided to start over. And I decided to start from a clean slate, if you will. Meaning clean identity, clean slate. Basically a clean slate of like, hey, I don't have any results. Look, guys, obviously I do, right? But I'm getting to a new place of like, hey, I don't have any results. I'm starting from a clean slate. What am I going to do now with my path forward? And it might sound vague for you, but it doesn't for me. And just thinking, okay, from this clean slate, I'm just gonna start from zero. Not with any ego, not with any, oh, I already am this, that. No, what are you doing right now? And building up from there. And what does that mean practically for me? I got into a new industry as well, because I was always frankly quite short-term minded, okay? I want it now. I want it now. And that's something I've had to kind of change for myself, because obviously we all know delayed gratification is, a vital component to success. But, we can still forget about that. Like within business, if you're just always too much like it has to be right now, you want to get results fast, but you also want to build something long-term, something sustainable. And for me on a practical level, like I'm saying, what that means is I was always my first business was a marketing agency, and then I got into the education space where I did very well. And then now I'm getting into the life insurance space, and I just opened an office here in Scottsdale, Arizona, and we're getting that off the ground. And to be fair, obviously it's good, but it's not as fast cash flowing as an info business would be. And so I got to deal with that. I got to accept that, and I'm choosing to do so and to grow that. And it's a slower process, but it's going to be bigger at the end of the road. And the biggest thing is that I'm now in a position where I just want to focus on being real. I'm talking about with you guys, with social media, with whatever, but most importantly, being real with myself about where I'm at, about what I'm truly doing. Because you can do this in every area of your life. And frankly, I'll just be honest with you, like a lot of people that know me, which everyone that knows me, they'll tell me, you're so good socially, right? You're so good at talking to people, meeting people, going out to a club, whatever. But one of the reasons for that is because I'm so good at perception managing, right? And that can be good, but it needs to come paired with you being also real to yourself. And the thing to make it a little more logical and a little bit more make sense here is that if you have a big discrepancy between who you're projecting yourself to be and who you really are, that is going to create a lot of stress, right? That is going to create a lot of tension. And honestly, that's going to lack in authenticity, right? And you're going to get short-term results from that because, you're projecting yourself in a different way. People are going to obviously view you as a higher or in a certain way, but at the end of the day, if you're not really that, you're always going to have this subconscious fear of being found out, if you will, right? Of being like exposed. And that's going to put you in a state of fight or flight, which frankly I dealt with, right? Because I was like here, and then I went down here. And I wanted to keep this up. And in a video like this, I am bringing it back down of, hey, guys, I'm shooting you straight. I was very successful. Yes, I did things well. I think I could have done way, way better as well, you know? Not even as successful as I think I could have been. Not even fucking close. I worked hard, but not even close to as hard as I think I could have. I did good, but not even close to as good as I think I could have. It's way too short for thinking. I was way too lazy, in my opinion, even in that time. Starting over now, I wasted a lot of fucking time. I wasted years. I'm an elite level person, I know that. Okay, I'm also not gonna be overly humble for the sake of looking like that when that's not the case. I'm very, very well aware of how competent I am, how much potential I have, but I'm even more aware of how much I wasted it. And, you know, that is really kind of come down to that thing of not being real with yourself. And also, you know, and switching things up, looking externally of like, you know, perfectionism, looking at different things. Oh, maybe I do this, maybe I do that. Not committing to one thing, not being willing to like do things with a lot of reps. Being like, oh, you know, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. What it really is just you got to do more reps. What it really is just you got to give it more work. Like your standards for work are too low, you know? Your standards for what is good is too low. Requires way more. And you can always find outlier situations. And there's always things that you can find of people that have done extremely well with less. And that's great if you can make that happen. But having that standard for yourself already is probably going to steal from you more than it'll give to you. So anyways, guys, like I said, 26, starting over. Starting from this clean slate, a clean identity, a clean self-image of like, hey, what happened in the past doesn't matter. Okay, I'm only counting for myself the points on the scoreboard that are here now, right? And like I said, you can be delusional within that in every area. Like you can say to yourself like, even I'm a boxer as well, right? And you can start saying to yourself like, oh yeah, I sparred these guys and therefore I'm this level, but like realistically, dude, have you had like those kinds of professional fights? No. So then you can't say that. And so that'll push you then to actually do it. To actually be able to say that you are it. Because if you're already saying that, but you're not taking those actions and you're not really the person that is it, you're stealing that motivation from yourself. It's kind of like mental masturbation, guys. Like that manifestation shit and just thinking that you're it and just being delusional is solely mental masturbation if it's not combined with also looking at reality, with also taking real action, right action, and looking at data, looking at the fucking numbers. Also, it's so easy to, you know, for example, like I had a buddy, we were talking about this, and he was saying like, yeah, when he started out in solar sales, he said that like, yeah, when I was in solar sales, I did like 10K in a month, but then like 6K didn't go through. So I was really making like 4K a month. But I just said I was making 10K a month. I said it to everybody. I said it to myself. What is he really doing, guys? He's really just stealing from himself. Because yes, you might feel like the man, but you are not able to be the person that would truly have that, because you're saying that the current person you are already has it, which therefore defeats the motivation to become a new person, a better person, and actually get those real results. And so from there, you can do that with anything. I've had friends in e-commerce say like 200 grand in revenue, and then just talk about that revenue, and then talk about the gross profit with after ad cost, but then just not factor in all the chargebacks, all the other costs, whatever that are coming with it. You know, extra shipping cost, like whatever it may be, guys. Just leaving that out just to feel better about themselves. And I did that kind of stuff too, you know? Or like, guys, I've seen guys, many people do this, okay? And I'm probably one of the worst at it. I'm just being honest with you. And I'm just literally saying this for my own selfish interest of being real and having that give me leverage to be better. Because then I can only say that I'm better when I'm actually better. Okay? And so from there, I've seen guys close deals, coaching deals for $100,000 or whatever it may be. And frankly, I've done this myself too. Not really to other people, but to myself, saying this to myself. Close a deal for $90,000, $100,000 that's contracted out, but not paid, and getting a $10,000 down payment and saying, oh yeah, I just made $90,000 this month. No, you didn't. I saw a guy that was saying he was doing $1 million a month, and he was actually doing like literally just $100,000 a month. And he was saying he was doing $1 million a month because he was contracting $1 million a month. But that shit was never fucking collected, right? So it means fuck all. And if you're saying that, you're just thinking that you're doing well and you're not. You gotta stop lying to yourself. And that's what I'm doing now. So once again, starting over, building a life insurance sales agency, a long, sustainable business that, everybody needs. But the more important part, you guys, is, and if you want to know more about what I exactly am doing now, you can hit the link in the description and all that good stuff. But the more important part within this, fellas, is the mental part of starting over. The mental part of like checking in, like, hey, what am I actually doing? What results am I actually getting? What have I gotten in the past very short recent time? And only counting real things and just fucking dealing with that, dealing with reality, and truly asking myself, right? Who am I really? Who have I been? And is that person actually worthy of any reasonable result? No matter what you've done in the past, whatever, who are you now? What are you achieving now? And what needs to change to be able to achieve the things that you truly want, that I truly want? And I'm gonna keep you guys posted. We'll see how it goes with this new little thing that we got going on. So everybody, stay on your schedule, stay on top of your numbers, stay on top of what you don't measure doesn't improve, right? You gotta measure it. You gotta look at it every single day. You gotta look at your fucking bank account every single day. The times where I was like, I'd made a fuck ton of money and then I wasn't, I would just not look at my bank account and I'd be spending the same amounts. And I spent a fuck ton of money, bro. And I was traveling the world at every fashion week, all this cool shit. But then I would just not look at my, it's another crazy example of it, right? Just, you spend too much in a night, whatever, and you're just not going to look at your bank account because you just don't want to feel the pain of it, right? Or you're just going to make it feel less, make it seem less, whatever it may be. Just because you're trying to avoid the reality of it. But in reality, that's making it way fucking worse. Because then you're not going to be able to solve the real thing. It's like going to the doctor, guys, and saying, nah, I'm feeling pretty good. Let's say you just got a surgery or whatever, you can't even walk. Nah, I'm all right. I can pretty much walk. It's not feeling that bad, whatever. Or whatever it may be, that you got a disease and you're saying that you're very hot, but you're actually very cold. Nobody would do that. It's so ridiculous, right? It sounds ridiculous. It's even a bad example, so ridiculous. But yet, I see many people do that, and I see myself doing that. And, that's what you gotta get rid of, if you ask me. And that's what I'm doing. So, hope that helps. Hope that inspired at least one person, because that'll make it worth it for me. Because once again, even just recording this for myself is plenty. I'll see you in the next one. And look at this Brazil shirt. Cool ass shit. And let's fucking go. Make it happen. Year's almost ending here, guys. Have urgency. Have urgency. Other people are catching up. Let's go.